Hi Aries, I hope you're well. Aries, I wasn't quite happy with my previous video that I just uploaded with Pisces. The quality was really reduced for some reason, so I've turned up the brightness on this light quite a lot. So we're going to try it and see if it maybe just helps the camera pick everything up a little bit easier. So that's why it's quite bright at the minute. We're just trying some lighting. But yeah, I hope you're good, Aries. We're just going to get straight into your reading. So I'm going to start with my usual deck, which is the Deviant Moon Tarot. I love this deck. It's wild, just like my Aries. So for my fire children, ooh, Aries. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 10 of Cups and 2 of Pentacles straight out of the gate. You guys don't miss a beat. So what can I say, Aries? Complete fulfillment almost, especially in your emotional area. I mean, look at this family here. They're just in absolute bliss and paradise. And then with this 2 of Pentacles, this is literally my favorite 2 of Pentacles in any deck that I've ever seen, because it always just reminds me of like a traveling gypsy that's just wild and free, which is absolutely you, Aries. But there's something so magnetic and mysterious about her and very esoteric. And she is just playing with these 2 pentacles as if they are just an extension of her. And it's so mystical and enchanting, and I absolutely love it. So Aries, this is you just absolutely balancing everything so perfectly and so poised that it looks like it is taking absolutely no effort at all to do so. So I want to say, Aries, you're in an excellent place right now. If we're starting off with these 2 cards here as the overall energy, your emotions are absolutely fulfilled, regardless of whether this comes from family and, you know, that kind of emotional fulfillment. You know, this could very much still represent your artistic pursuits, you know, something that just moves you emotionally, something that is tied to your heart and your fulfillment in what it is that you're doing and moving through in the world. So, and then with this 2 of Pentacles here, you're just like, it's just like effortless. It's just like all these blessings and all this just beauty is just pouring down on Aries. And I can just, whichever Aries I feel like I'm connecting with, you are very aware of this, and you just feel like you are the luckiest person in the world right now, and that you are just on top of everything, on top of it, that everything that you've wished for is just coming your way. And I have to say, you're just going with the flow, and you're just absolutely feeling so held and so happy right now. So whichever Aries this is for, I'm so happy for you, because the world is crazy at the minute. So I'm so happy that you have come to this place, Aries, and that these blessings are just showering down on you. Oh my gosh, what a lovely start to a reading. Powerful, Aries. You never ever do anything half-hearted, do you? So I almost don't want to get a little bit more, but we're going to delve a bit deeper. So Aries, my lovely fire children, 3 more cards straight out. So we've gone from 2 to 3. So note that a second, and let me just look at these here for you. So Aries, I have to say, maybe this has come to you because you have worked through a lot of your own stuff, right? You've worked through a lot of your own shadows. So you might have been doing a lot of shadow work and you've sort of come to this place now where you're no longer operating from the shadow aspects of an Aries, which is being very impulsive, very impatient, a bad temper, you know, a bit of a hot head, a bit of a fiery head, because you had He of the Fiery Sword, but it came up reversed like this. So it's almost like you laying down your weapon or laying down your defenses, you know, always being ready to, you know, snap or bite someone's head off a little bit. And you might have been like this in the past, right? Because often when we're children, we will display all aspects of whatever it is that we're born into, right? So in our zodiac, our entire wheel, that whole span of the birth chart, we present as children, right? Because we haven't quite learned the mannerisms of how necessarily to navigate through the world in a way that is accepted by, you know, society and modern day. You know, we're very much just our pure essence, how we've just come down as light. It's, you know, it's unfiltered, untarnished, and that is... sorry, I just got a message through from my partner. I just had to check it quickly. So that is, you know, that's how children are. They're just the pure essence of what they're born as. And then it's as we grow up and then we learn behaviors, or we pick up behaviors from other people that we're around that, you know, rubs off on us, that we end up being molded and shaped into the person that we eventually become, right? We go through the cycles, just like the moon goes through its cycles. So I want to say that you've laid down that impulsivity, that harshness, that rash sense of just not really caring too much about how you might hurt other people or how you might impact other people around you, for good or bad, right? You've sort of gone through this beautiful cycle of wisdom and becoming wise, right? Because we have the sage here, right? And the sage in this deck, this is like, you know, the grandfather of the woods, right? He's the wise man that goes deep into the forest and just completely hermits and closes the rest of the world out, right? So it represents an extremely internal journey that you've been going on, Aries. And I do want to say that this here, he looks almost like a lion, right? His hair's all matted, it's crazy, it's wild. It looks very much like a lion. So this process that you've been going through to get you to this beautiful point here, which we started off the reading with, has very much been a process of you coming finally into your power, right? Finally into the full totality of what you are destined to be and what you're capable of. And the lions always represent, like, you know, Christ consciousness, like spiritual, like the very, very high frequency of what it means to move through this world. And that's sort of the journey that you're going on, right? And it's just beautiful. And you've gained so much wisdom and so much knowledge that this is why now you're being gifted. And there's this feeling of a celebration, right? A collection of pixies. Now, because we've gone from 2 to 3 cards, so you had 2 cards jump out first and then you had 3 cards jump out after, I do want to say that what I'm seeing here is a process, right, that is still undergoing. So you're in the 2 at the minute and you're very much, you know, this is representative of this process of you laying down these shadow elements of yourself, becoming this beautiful butterfly. Can you see the butterfly at the top here with the wings? It's like you've gone from this to this gorgeous energy of just rebirth and fulfillment, right? But because we've gone from 2 to 3 in numerology, right, you know, we're moving through a process of some description. So I do want to say that this is the energy that you're moving into even more so as time's going on, right? It's happening now, but it's coming in even more as time's going on because you're learning these things about yourself. And there is so much celebration. And I want to say that very, very quickly, your personal life might be feeling extremely beautiful right now, whether this represents an artistic exploration for you that fulfills your heart, a love connection, a family connection, you know, a friendship connection, whatever it represents. You know, with this collection of pixies coming in here, it's saying that there's so much more still to come, right? There's so much celebration and like partying or just congratulations here. Like I'm seeing that Aries is going to do something and there's just loads of people clapping and applauding, like, well done, Aries. You've done something really beautiful and profound in your journey that's being recognized and celebrated. So this could represent the workplace for you. It could represent calling in more of a soul tribe, right? Because the collection of pixies is the tribe, right? It's the drum beat, it's the people dancing around the fire like, yeah. So this, you know, this could be bringing in like more like-minded people, more people that are made of the same stuff as you, made of the same elements, you know, you just get each other, right? So however that plays out for you, I just want you to know that this is coming for you, like coming for you, that sounds a bit scary. This is coming towards you, right? This just beautiful like tidal wave of just connection and community and camaraderie, and congratulations for whatever it is that you're doing right now. So I want to get some more. Oh, it's so like intense and powerful and just beautiful and transformational, Aries. I'm like, I like, you know, but we're going to keep going because there's clearly more to be seen here. So let me just take a minute, because I'm not quite sure which deck I want to continue with. I feel like the Deviant Moon Tarot wants to come out again. I love this deck. I just work with it so much. And let me just make sure that I've got it the right way up for shuffling so we don't get any unnecessary reversals. Now, a lot of this deck very much does deal with the shadow, right? I like to use this deck because I feel like sometimes nowadays we look too much at just the light side of spirituality, and the shadow side is equally as important, right? It's the yin and the yang, but it's nothing to be frightened of. It's just for those of us who want to really work with some deeply personal and transformative energies, right? So we'll see what, it's quite mischievous as well. We'll see what comes out. The 9 of Wands. Right, so we've gone from here, right? You having all this sense of community, group mentality, friendships, family, community connections, all that good stuff, right? To this, which is the 9 of Wands, which is like isolation in this imagery, right? So I feel like that's where you've come from, right? Or perhaps that is sort of where you are still now, you know, even if you have this beautiful sense of fulfillment and you're balancing everything gorgeously, and you know, you've got everything in front of you that you should feel so incredibly grateful for, and you know, and you're completely aware of that, but there's still this slight sense of despondency, this slight sense of sadness and melancholy that's sort of coming through in this card. So even if you've got this, right, that doesn't mean that you'll necessarily still have these sort of feelings kind of lingering around it, like a certain feeling of isolation or just not being seen, right? Not being seen because this person here is wearing a mask. So I actually think this is still here, this is still present, but then as this energy comes in, there's a feeling somewhere of not necessarily being seen, right? And I feel like that might be within your creative process or your creative work, right? Because this character here is in a masked ball, right? You know, it's fantasy, it's not real life like this is, you know, this is sort of like the practical, the pragmatic, the mundane, you know, it's like what's around you all the time, family, you know, that sort of a like day-to-day in the house, day-to-day interactions with the people around you is beautiful, fulfilled, and you're juggling it all, and it's just like you're having a whale of a time, right? But then with this, you know, as I said, it's representing this stream of creativity. And with the stairs here coming down, right, it's almost like I'm hearing like staircase to heaven or stairway to heaven. It's like something that is channeled down through you, your creative source that comes down, right, that you channel. You feel like it's not being seen, right? You don't feel like it's getting the recognition that it deserves, or it's not getting the exposure that it deserves, right? Because again, we're in the realm of the fantasy, right? So I'm thinking, especially with it being wands, which is, it's not swords, right? It's not pentacles, which is tangible, and swords the mind. It's something creative because it's the wands, it's the fire element. And there's something about that you don't feel is being looked at. It's not, you're not getting the recognition that you feel like you deserve, right? Which is why we bring in this collection of pixies again. This might be how you're feeling right now. Perhaps you're a struggling artist, a struggling creative. Perhaps you're in a process of just sending out loads of CVs in the creative world, whether it's like you're a painter or you're a streamer, or you know, you do you know, voice reels or music or any sort of a pottery, you know, any line of creativity that you can think of. If you feel like your work isn't being recognized right now, don't worry, because if this is really resonating for you, look at this collection of pixies. This is what we were talking about. It's all this celebration. It's all this hell yeah, Aries. You're being recognized finally, right? So don't worry. And if this is how you're feeling right now, this is what's coming. Yeah? So I'm going to get one more card. I feel like one more card with a finishing message. So we're going to try. We're going to try with this deck, the Orion Tarot. This is quite a hard deck to read with. So we're going to venture in. Sometimes the message just comes loud and clear, like screaming at my face. And then other times I'm sort of sat looking at the card and I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? But I love decks like that, because then I know when the message does come through, it's something that is, you know, it was meant to be heard, right? So what was I saying, Aries? Queen of Pentacles. This is you in your power, right? And the Queen of Pentacles is the creative, right? It's the creative maker. So I'm looking at someone here that is an artist, a creative maker of something of tangible, right? Something that's tangible, because it's the Queen of Pentacles. And it's something that you're doing with your hands, or you're making with your hands, or something that is through, you know, gardening, nature, anything that is creative and requires you to use your hand, whether you're building it, right? This is the message for you, okay? It's sort of that message of keep honing your craft. Even if you're not necessarily being recognized right now, just keep doing what you're doing, because recognition is coming soon. And I know it's so hard, because when we pour our love and our passion and our emotion into our creative projects and it doesn't feel like it's being heard, or it doesn't feel like it's reaching, right? It's not impacting people the way that we're hoping it will. We can, you know, lose confidence, or we can lose hope, lose motivation, and we can end up not doing. Sorry, I've just realized that I've left my coffee here and it's gone completely cold. Oh well. Anything for you, Aries. Anything for my fire signs. But yeah, it's so easy to fall into this trap of just being like, I'm just going to give up and I'm going to go back to, you know, the physical. I'm just going to go back to, you know, my 9 till 5, because it's not producing the money that I need it to, because I've got bills to pay, I've got people to support, and that might be weighing heavy on you, right? Because you might not feel like what you're doing right now is being as lucrative as it needs to be in order for you to, you know, support and provide for this, provide for your family, provide for yourself, right? Whichever this is. But this is the message that don't give up, Aries, all right? With Aries, it can be quite easy to sometimes get so much passion, right? Because you're the first one out of the zodiac. You're the first one out of the door. You're the creative spark of source. So it's so easy to get excited and passionate and happy and excitable about all the things that you want to do and all the projects, because you're just firing on all cylinders. But that fire can burn out really, really quickly, right? Because it's mutable, and this is Pentacles, right? This is Earth. It's bringing it back down to Earth. So it's saying, stay the course, Aries. Keep creating, keep manifesting, keep pouring your love, your creativity into your art, because you're very, very close to the finish line, right? You're about to start to be recognized. So just keep honing the craft. Don't give up, and Spirit is behind you 100%. And there is so much love and encouragement in this message. So Aries, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that you found something in this for you. If not, hopefully there will be something in my next video. But for now, I'll leave you with all my love and all my light. Bye, Aries.